Hey guys, what's up? It's Kev for the win. We're back from another edition of Monster Hunter Rise. Today we're taking a look at an updated endgame build for the bow and arrow. So we're going to be using Bow of Want and Blood. This is the maxed out Tiastra bow. Next up, Regios Help, Blade Scale Hone, Constitution Normal Rapid Up. Next up, Archfiend Armor Balu, Weakness Exploit, Resentment Chain Crit, Normal Rapid Up, Critical Boost. Next up, Rachna Arm Guards X, Constitution, Stamina Surge, Bow Charge Plus. Next up after that, Archfiend Armor Ura, Weakness Exploit, Chain Crit, Normal Rapid Up, Archfiend Armor Cirrhosis, Dereliction, Resentment, Stamina Surge, Critical Boost. Next up, Absolute Repellents. You can use whichever repellents you want. For our Talisman, we're using Weakness Exploit 2 with 2 level 1 slots. Preferably you want 2 level 2 slots or a level 3 slot. Depends on what you can get. We're going to use Critical Jewel 2 here. We're going to use a Tiastra Soul Jewel. Next up, that way we can get Blast here. Force Shot Jewel free because we're using Normal Rapid Up. Force Shot Jewel free. Critical Jewel 2. Mighty Bow Jewel 4 here is where the way you want to go. Force Shot Jewel free. And then Refresh Jewel 2. Critical Jewel 2. And a Refresh Jewel 2. And 2 Quick Load Jewel 1s there. Alright. Let me show you full stats of this now. Alright, 345 attack, 51 blast, 699 defense. Pretty good resistances. We don't like thunder and we don't like dragon, however, so we have to be mindful of those particular elements. 3-piece bonus, all resistance +1, thanks to the fact that we have 3 pieces of 1 set here, so that comes in kind of handy here. For the skills, Constitution level 5, Weakness Exploit free, Critical Boost free, Stamina Surge free, Normal Rapid Up free, Chain Crit free, Resentment 2, Reload Speed 2, and there's actually one more skill, Bow Charge plus level 1, Dereliction 1. So we have a lot of skills here. Constitution 5 reduces stamina depletion when we're blocking, evading, or obviously charging our arrow. Weakness Exploit, anytime we hit a monster's weak spot, 50% increase affinity. Critical Boost, increase damage dealt by critical hits by 40%. Stamina Surge basically speeds up the stamina recovery. Normal Rapid Up basically charges up your normal rapid arrows. Chain Crit is self-explanatory. Resonant attacks increase whenever there's red. Reload speed 2, because we just want to be able to put our bow coatings automatically. Bow charge plus, that way we can get the maximum charge out of our bow. Dereliction is very important. We're going to be using the blue scroll. That way we increase our attack and stun potential. And this is kind of good to use just because you're able to reload your coatings and get a temporary boost from close range. Other than that, though, it's kind of whatever. It's nice to have, but it's not necessary. Alright, so purpose of this showcase, we are going to be hunting a great Azuchi. It's a very good demonstration partner, as opposed to using just the dummy thing here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out with our power coating. First and foremost, remember this is a dereliction build, so just like any dereliction build, you want to eat for a gourmet fish as fast as possible. Also, you want to automatically switch to your blue scroll as fast as possible. So we're going to eat the gourmet fish. This is going to allow our stamina recovery to be, or not stamina, but our health recovery to be significantly faster, so we'll be able to mitigate some of the life burn that's going on here, because we don't necessarily need our resentment to proc. All it has to do is a little bit of red, and it automatically trigger the skill. Anyway, that's common misconception. People think that you need a lot of red there. You do not. In fact, a lot of red equals usually you being dead. Alright, so let's go find the Great Azuchi. We'll start off with power coatings, then we'll move over to close range coatings. Chances are we're probably going to be able to kill the monster, probably with the power coatings alone, depending if we get into a nice critical distance. Critical distance, basically the proper distance that you want to be when you're shooting your arrows against the monster. You'll see that the screen shakes. That means you're in critical distance, which is the distance that you need to be to fire the bow and arrow. Let's fire it off and see if I can show you here. As you saw, the screen shake there for a minute. So depending on the charge shot, depends if you'll see the critical distance. If you see the screen shake, that means you're doing it right. If you don't see the screen shake a little bit, that means that you're not in critical distance and that you have to kind of find the nice sweet spot there. As you can see, it shook there. We're going to try to do maximum charge shots here because we want to go for a rapid 5 and rapid 4s. Another thing that you can do is you can fire off multiple arrows. By the time you get to the 3rd or 4th shot, you're going to have fully charged shots as well with the bow and arrow. The good thing is, if we're targeting the face, thanks to the blue scroll and dereliction, we're able to get a lot of knockbacks that we wouldn't normally be able to get with the bow and arrow, because the bow and arrow is not necessarily known as a weapon that can do a lot of KOs. In fact, this is kind of a new version of it. Obviously, as you just saw there, with dereliction builds, you are still a glass cannon, so you have to be very mindful of your health, because you can't take a lot of damage, because usually you'll be dead very, very fast. So you gotta be very, very careful. Also, little monsters are kind of annoying to deal with here. One of the good things is because we have Stamina Surge and Constitution, we actually are able to get a lot of charge shots off with our arrow, more so than we normally would be able to. You can see, even when you get just one of the helpers here that gives you slower stamina depletion, you do a tremendous amount of damage. Let's see. Okay, that arrow didn't go off at the right positioning. Let me get some positioning here. So you saw the screen was shaking. Critical distance here. If we could get some critical distance. Yep, okay. Good sweet spot there. Let's see if I can target a weak spot, if I can. It's all about positioning with the bow and arrow. Very similar to the light bow gun and heavy bow gun. Let's see. Fire that off. Okay. Alright, it's down again. Let's move back a little bit if I can. Gonna target the face here. Oh, the monster has been paralyzed thanks to our actual partner there that I'm using paralyzed weapons. So let's see if we can get a couple of hits off here. Let's target the face. Alright, there we go. Look at all that damage that's going off right now. Doing good amounts. Let's move back a little bit more because the monster's no longer paralyzed. Let's get good critical distance. As you can see, the monster is already in blue. So, that's really good. We've secured a lot of knockdowns. Let's charge in here. We're going to do 3 charges if we can. That way we can do a significant amount of damage. When the monster goes down, obviously we'll start charging up our arrow shots. Target the face if possible. Alright, let's go. We're in close range combat here. We're close range coding, so we should be able to do a significant amount of damage from up close. I do need to get moving back a little bit here. Alright. Let's see. This is probably not going to take the monster out, or that's it. Okay, we did because of the pierce arrow. Alright, and that's pretty much the updated endgame bow and arrow. I know a lot of people are complaining because I was using the mighty bow feather, but keep in mind, like I said, endgame builds change over time. That was the endgame build for the beginning of Sunbreak. This is the endgame build for the end of Sunbreak with bow and arrow. Obviously, you could use any type of bow and arrow you want here. You don't necessarily have to use blast. You could use any type of elemental bow and arrow. The only thing is then you would have to take out like steadfast and brace from this particular set, so that way you could put in at least 3 elemental jewels. And obviously, anywhere where you have the 4-shot, which is the normal wrap-it-up, you could change to whatever arrow type you want. Or you could put in gems to boost whatever elemental damage that you want to do there, because keep in mind that elemental damage has been buffed in Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak as well. I personally like to use normal arrows with blast because I'm just a big fan of the Tiastra bow. Always have been for quite a while since Monster Hunter 4. I've been a big fan of it, so that's kind of my go-to weapon that I like to do. A lot of monsters are very weak to blast, and blast is very, very powerful still, particularly in Sunbreak. People don't seem to realize endgame Sunbreak, blast is very, very, very deceptively powerful. Alright, so let's see at the clear time here. This has got to be at least 4 to 3 minute clear time based on the speed that we were able to do there and be able to do critical hits. Alright, so let's see. What do we got here? Alright, let's see. 4 minutes and 6-second clear time. That is super, super fast. In group of 4, probably a minute clear time. So, that's going to do it for today's Monster Hunter Rise video. As always, a like on this video is greatly appreciated. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, definitely consider doing so, as it helps the channel grow. And I will see you for the next Monster Hunter Rise video, in which we will talk about the Scorn Magnamalo armor, which got really, really good buffs compared to the original one. Anyway, till next time, guys.